all the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real food, not the GMOs. I wanna make moves, call the shots like the boss. I wanna love like I never lost.
Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze is sponsored by Cole Obarts Entertainment, providing amusement, celebration, and distraction since 2013. To find out more, visit us on the web at www.coleobartsent.com.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days. Today's guest, he's one of my favorite musicians, and he's also a friend of the show. He was on one of our previous seasons. Let's welcome Mr. Kenny Thames. Hello there.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Always good to see you. And welcome back.
Oh, it's nice to be back. Beautiful set.
Thank you.
I love the purple.
Thank you. So, Kenny, since we saw you last, you've been busy out there in the community. We know you're a musician, you're an educator, you train our little ones on the piano, but you've been also starting some new things personally in your life as a musician.
Right.
So, tell us a little bit about some of the new things you've been working on.
Well, I've been wanting to do it for many years, just was too busy. Storytelling, and I did my first storytelling on April the 23rd. That was very successful, and then we're doing it again on June the 25th.
Congratulations. And that's called?
The whole series is called KennyLand.
Okay.
This one is it's called Lona and Me.
Okay.
It's about me and my mother, who had a tremendous effect on my life, and she was kind of weird too. So that's where I got my weirdness.
Weird.
People think I'm weird. She's kind of weird like me.
Nothing wrong with, look, there's nothing wrong with being weird.
That's right. Be you.
That is. Tell me about KennyLand.
KennyLand. I got that because I came up with a name. Actually, my mother called it KennyLand because she always called me Kenneth. But it's just not really in my own reality, I guess is the best word. I don't always connect with what somebody is telling me. As an example, just very quickly, when I had workmen working on my house, he sent me to the store, to Lowe's, to get 10 penny. He asked me if I would go pick him up some 10 penny nails. And so of course I did. I went, and I couldn't find any nails that were only a penny. And this sounds horrible, but I mean, this is really what I was really serious. And I saw the nails, and all of them were like $5 and $4 for the box, or $10, whatever. So I got a customer service, and I said, I'm looking for, all the nails are a little bit more expensive than what I want to pay. So I just need some penny nails. And he goes, what are you talking about? I go, some nails that cost a penny. And he goes, I don't know what generation you're from, but we don't have nails that cost a penny. And I go, well, I just know that the work at my house wanted some penny nails, and he wanted 10. And he just started falling out laughing. He goes, oh, you're talking about 10 penny nails? Yes. He goes, it's not penny, like 1 cent. He goes, so I go, okay. So I went back and told the worker, because I was a long time getting back. And I go, I didn't understand. I thought you said you wanted 10 nails that cost a penny. And he goes, oh my God, I'll never send you to the store again. That's KennyLand.
That's a good one.
That's KennyLand.
And how long ago was that?
That was about 10 years ago. But my KennyLand started at like 5. It was not anything new.
So you have a lot of comedic turns in KennyLand.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you been working on KennyLand?
It's only recently I really started being serious about it. I mean, in my stories, telling my friends and stuff that happened, I would do that, and people always liked my stories. But I decided to just try it and see what would happen, and just call it KennyLand.
Well, KennyLand, I'm sure. I mean, you have a big history, your journey in your life. I mean, starting off as a pastor, do you use any of that in?
Oh, yes. There's a lot in KennyLand as a pastor, believe me.
Yes, I mean, being a father.
A lot of that, too, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of things to talk about in KennyLand.
Yeah.
So how, as far as your first show, how did the audience react to KennyLand?
It was so wonderful and so surprising to me. I don't get nervous very often, but I was extremely nervous because I thought, what if they don't laugh? I don't, because you have to feed on them. But it was wonderful. They did. The response was there, and all the way through. It just flew by for me. So it was really great.
So was it musical also?
Yeah, in my KennyLand things, I always do just original music.
Oh, okay.
So I got a friend of mine that's a gospel vocalist that came in and sang 2 or 3 numbers that I had written.
Oh,
So-
and may I ask who that gospel singer?
Rebecca Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you perform. You have your piano,
Yeah, well, I had a keyboard there.
your
Yeah.
keyboard, and you do some of your original songs, and then you tell your stories.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
All the music wasn't gospel. It was just more gospel, more with a gospel feel.
Oh,
It was
okay.
more like that. Yeah.
Is that usually your go-to gospel?
Yeah, because I started playing in church when I was 10, and then our church was Pentecostal, which that if Pentecostals are loud and musical. It's the two main attributes. Is they're very musical and they're very loud. So, and which is a good thing. I don't mean that ugly at all. But and then when I was about 16, my father pastored in Glendale, and we had a black evangelist that came and did a 6 weeks revival for us. And she had an organist, a white organist, that played for her all the time she was preaching. Her sermons lasted about 3 hours. But there was a lot of drama and a lot of acting and a lot of singing. I mean, nobody minded. It was we were Pentecostal. We didn't go to movies. That was the best thing we had. It was just Willie. And so
that was a performance for you guys.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's like better than the movies. And so she asked me to start traveling with her and her organist, and I did the piano. So her organist is the one that really taught me all the moves on the Hammond organ, and I would accompany on the piano, but she would teach me all of that.
You know what, Kenny, as long as I've known you, you're pretty open, very transparent, and you know what, you talk about your life stories all the time. Was there anything new that anyone didn't know that was told at KennyLand
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I don't even.
that you're willing to share?
I can't think. Now you caught me off guard because I can't even think now what the things that I talked about. I think the main thing was I talked about. Well, Fabi, maybe you could help me. I don't remember the stories. I have it on my phone. If I would have known, I would have done it. But yeah,
They just have to get out there to see KennyLand,
Yeah,
because
you will.
I'm sure there's a new show.
I did tell them about my daughter taking my daughters to Hawaii, and with the family. And when they were small, they were 2 and 4, and we got to the gate, and the lady asked how old Christy was, my youngest daughter. And I said that she was 2, and they said that she had to be, I said that she was 3, and that she had to be under 2 to get on free. But thankfully, she was very petite. She was a very little girl, little baby. And so I just said, well, I meant 2, because I'm not going to pay $400. And so I meant 2. Oh, yeah, that's okay then. So then we got on the plane, and we got on the boardwalk thing, and I go, Christy, you can't talk or anything. I covered her up with her head on the blanket. I was carrying her.
Made her act like she was 2.
I said, don't say one word. I mean, don't say one word, because if you do, we can't even go to Hawaii, because I'm not paying $400 at the gate for you. So don't say one word, and I mean it. You're a baby. You have to be a baby. You're a baby, and you are a baby, but you have to be a real baby. This time to really act it and do it right. And so she was like, okay.
You told her to do it right.
Yeah, do it right. So we got to the flight attendant, let them see it. And she goes, oh, you have a baby. And I said, yeah. Oh, is it a boy or a girl? I said, it's a girl. She goes, can I see? So I pulled the blanket back, and the first thing Christy goes was, gaga, good. What?
You told her to put on the act.
She did it.
She did it right.
I just rushed to the seat as quick as I could. And I go, I told you that. What's being a baby? That's what babies do. They go gaga, goo, goo. I said, I've never heard a baby say
gaga,
I've never heard a baby say gaga, goo, goo. Anyway, that was one of the stories. Yeah.
That's funny.
So I have a lot of those. I've lived 73 years, so you get a lot of stories in that many years. Yeah.
Wow. And you know what? I always remember your talented granddaughter.
Yeah.
Did she perform with you?
No, she will. She wasn't at this one. Now my talented granddaughter has given me 2 talented great grandchildren,
Okay.
so she stays very
Now
busy.
you see, because I remember her when she was a young little thing performing.
Yeah, she started singing with me. She was about 4 when she started singing with me, but now she has Priest and Lila.
Oh,
because they keep her fairly busy.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. So KennyLand, I love the title of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do love that. So you have another show coming up soon in a couple of weeks, right?
June the 25th. Yes.
Okay. I just noticed something, Kenny. I'm always showing off the guys' fancy shoes, and you have some pretty fancy shoes there. Why don't you kick it up there and let us?
Why not?
Yes, and the socks too.
And the socks.
Okay, now.
Thank God for Nordstrom's rack.
Yes. So, KennyLand, this is you had your inaugural show, your first show at the Phoenix Center of the Arts, and I heard through the grapevine that it was a success. So, again, congratulations on that. You know what? You can only hope for that when you're having your first show, and especially when it's something new.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm happy that. But you have a pretty good following, so that's a good thing, and people love you.
Yeah, I was surprised. Honestly, I thought, well, if there's only 10 people, we'll just go. You know, you never know. Sometimes it's so different, and a lot of people didn't know what a storytelling thing was either.
Yes.
But it worked out real good.
What made you come up with the idea of storytelling?
My mother was a storyteller, and she was such a great storyteller that my father was a pastor, and so he put her in charge of the children under 10, and there was about 80 of us, and she taught them I'm gonna say she told stories, and it just stuck with you forever. And I remember when I was a small child, I didn't fit in very well. You know, I wasn't real sports. I didn't care for sports. It wasn't even that I even wanted to be sports. I didn't even have a desire to be do sports. But my dad kind of wanted me to do that, and I wasn't good at fishing, and I didn't see the need to hunt, and I was just different from what he wanted, and so and then I would get made fun of at school because I wasn't good at. And I'm not going to say I wasn't good. I wasn't interested.
You just wasn't interested.
I didn't care. Like my mother, I came home crying one day about other boys making fun of me because I couldn't hit the ball, in softball. And she said, "Don't worry about it." She goes, "I don't even know of anybody right now that really hits balls except in school. So don't worry. Your life is so much more than just hitting a ball. Just don't even worry about it." So and then so she would tell us stories. So that's kind of where I got it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you brought us some media today for KennyLand. Why don't we take a look at it?
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
You see everything from the stage. Where the word KennyLand comes from is I've always been a little off. Maybe in many ways, but it just seems like my mind doesn't go the way most people's mind goes. And then he pointedly turned to the piano and said to me, "Kenneth, you're a man, you need to be there." And I shook my head, "Yes, I'll be there." And then my dad said, "All you men, be sure and bring a toolbox." And you can't tell it in this picture because it's black and white, but I have on a white shirt with a beautiful canary yellow sweater that I wanted to wear. My mother...
There's joy in this place.
Bobby was my partner, and I would give him the microphone, which I won't, because he would tell you other incidents about how I just don't always connect with reality sometimes. With what you think you're talking about may not be what I'm hearing.
You're gone, you said you were leaving. You're gone, I didn't believe it. You're gone, baby, 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 you're gone.
Well, first I have to say I love the shirt.
I got that in Brazil when I was there with Fabio. Yeah.
Right. You know, you said I'm a little off.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, that wasn't a nice thing to say to people.
Exactly. That's the way I was. I think I thought I was a little off. Really.
You know what? Being a little off is okay.
That's good.
Like you said, we're just different.
That's exactly right.
I enjoyed that and the animation. I mean, the Kenny up there. I love the Kenny.
Well, that's Fabio's work on the
Wonderful.
animation. It was
Great
great.
job, Fabio. He
Yeah.
did a great job
Yeah.
with that. So I love that. So now you've done KennyLand and you know where you're going with that. You have another one that includes your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell us a little bit about, because I know I've heard you say such amazing things about your mom. Just give me a little bit of about the relationship with you and your mom.
I was she passed away when I was 15, but she got diagnosed with she got sick when I was about 7, very sick, and she was treated for all different, from cancer to leukemia to everything. And they finally discovered she had a disease. She was the first person in Texas that they discovered that name, and the name of the disease was lupus, which now is very well known.
Right.
But they had no medication or no treatment or anything for it. So I spent a lot of time with her. My sisters had gotten married, my older sisters, and then so I had a younger brother, 4 years younger. So I just spent a lot of time with her, and her, which I wasn't aware of. She really was preparing me for when she passed away.
Right.
And so she put a lot of, starting to tear up, but she put a lot of emotion in me, and it worked.
Yeah. Was Mama an entertainer also?
Oh, in her own way, she sang. She sang in church, but she was mainly known for her storytelling, and she was appointed as the general secretary for the entire globe for the ladies department of our denomination.
Oh.
She helped found that whole department called the Ladies Auxiliary, and she founded a program called Mother's Memorial, which what it amounted to is throughout the year people would save their dimes. Now they have a March of Dimes as the same thing, but she did that long before then. And then on Mother's Day, everybody from all over the nation, the United Pentecostal churches, they brought their dimes to the church, and all of that money went to missionary work.
Oh, okay.
And not for she didn't want it to go for tracts or for ministry or she wanted to make sure they had food, they had clothing, they had,
She actually wanted it to go to the people. Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I don't know what they do now. I'm not in that denomination anymore, but that's what it was designated initially.
So what can we expect from what is the new production called?
Lona and Me.
What can we expect from Lona and Me?
You can expect me telling some more stories.
Okay.
Wonderful stories about my mother. One, can I tell you one quickly?
Sure.
One is, and I don't mind just as a preview. One day, she loved to tell stories to me. So one day she was telling me, she goes, me and your dad, we weren't always, Christians in the church. We had our own life that was different. And your dad played in the saloons. My dad was a musician, but your dad played in the saloons. And after we moved here, your dad played in the saloon down the street, and I would stay home because she had a little girl that eventually passed away. She was 18 months old, but she goes, I had a baby and I couldn't go out with him. So he got to where he stayed out later and later and later and later. So one night, and the saloon was right around the corner from the house, she said, and she goes, one night the saloon was right around the corner. So I got my baby to sleep and I dressed up. And I thought, I'm going to go see if he can't still be performing this early in the morning. So I dressed up, and there were swing doors, and I had to tell the way she did it. So she goes, I dressed up to my finest, and I looked good. And I swung those doors open. And she said, it was pitch black. I couldn't see anything. So I let my eyes adjust to the light. And then I saw him in the corner, sitting there on the bar stool next to a sleazy woman. All made up with makeup and jewelry and that drink in her hand. And she said, I raced up every bit of 5'3" I have, breathed in my stomach, and I walked up to her and she said, there were 2 hits. And I go, you hit her? And she goes, I hit her. She hit me, and I hit the floor. So that's my mother's humor. All the time I was all like, I was going to be a brawl. I thought it was going to be a cat fight, and it wasn't. It's just I don't even know that happened.
Does Cleo come from your mom?
Yeah, I get a lot of my stuff from
I
Cleo.
thought so. I thought so.
Yeah, definitely.
So, tell us where our audience can find you.
On Facebook. I don't even have this. Probably, Lord, I don't have a clue.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you tell us, Lana and me is
We're at Phoenix Center for the Arts.
and that is going to be when?
June the 25th. It's at 6 in the evening in the main theater.
Okay.
I'm on YouTube.
Okay.
Fabio really is better at that than me.
Okay.
So he's the worker. I'm just the pretty one.
Yes, you are the pretty one. Well, thank you for joining us
Thank
here
you.
today, Kenny. It was such a pleasure.
My pleasure.
And we'll catch you next time.
By all means.
And we'll catch you next time on Desertwood Days.